Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we'll discover the Python pickle module. We'll learn about the serialization and when not to use it and when to use it. And we'll also learn about the multiprocessing module of Python. As a data scientist, you will always work with the set of a data that can be in the form of dictionary, data frames, and any other data type. When working with these, you might want to save them for the further purpose or for the future reference. So the Python pickle module will do for you, that is the serialize the object so that it can be used for the further purpose, or you can reference that in the further next program. So pickle is used for serializing and deserializing the Python object structure. It is also called as a marshalling or flattening. So serialization refers to the process of converting the object in the memory to the byte stream that can be stored on the disk or sent over the network. That means you can just reference that is stored byte stream, and you can also make use of that to send over the network. So later on, this character stream can be retrieved and deserialized back to our Python object. So just remember one thing, that is a pickle is just a module that is used for serializing and deserializing Python so that it can be stored in the form of byte stream in our disk. So pickling is not to be confused with the compression, because compression is only the process of storing the data or encoding the data with fewer bits in order to save the disk space. But in the case of pickling, it is a conversion of object from one representation into another, that is text on a disk. So you are just converting your program, that is Python program, into the text that can be stored on the disk. So later on, that text on the disk can be deserialized into back your Python object into your ideally. So pickling is useful for application where you need to have some degree of persistency in your data. Your program state data can be saved to the disk so that you can continue working on it later on, and it can be also used to send over the transmission control protocol, that is for the network. So pickle is very useful tool while you are working with the machine learning algorithm, because you have to save them to be able to make a new prediction on a later time without just rewriting everything or training the model all again using the same code. So pickling is nothing, just saving your module into the file so that you can reference for the further purpose. So this thing can be pickled. So you can pickle object with this following data type: boolean, integer, float, and tuple, list, and dictionary that can contain a pickleable object. And it is really hard to just make a pickled, that is for the generators, and that is for your lambda, and that is for your closures, but we'll just see in the later upcoming lectures. But we'll just see now difference of this pickle and JSON. So if you have ever heard about the JSON, that is for the JavaScript object notation. It is a lightweight format for the data interchange, that is it is easily readable by the humans. Although it was derived for the JavaScript, JSON is standardized and language independent, and this is the serious advantage over the pickle. It is not much secure and faster than that of pickle. So in the case of a Python, the pickle module is still a good choice for its ease of use and ability to reconstruct complete Python object, that is basically deserializing the Python object. So alternative to this pickle can be cpickle, which is obviously written in the C, which is thousands times faster than our pickle. So let's see now what is the pickle in our program, and let's make object that can be serialized and deserialized. So first of all, let me just open so before going through coding, I want to create new folder in my desktop. Let me just create this folder name as new, and let me open ideally now. So I want to create a new script. Let me say my file, let me save this one first. So let me say my file.py, and let me navigate to the folder that we have just created. It should be new in the desktop, and let me save this one. So first module that we are interested is the pickle module. So it should be pickle module, because this pickle module provides us a way to serialize and deserialize our object. So now we'll make use of the dictionary in order to pickle the object. So we'll just pickle this dictionary using this pickle module. So I'll just say docs dictionary, which basically contains our dictionary, and it should contain our OG, which is name basically, and value. So it has key and value here. So I'll just say that is philo, and let me just give value as 8, which is basically is age, and let me say team O, and this is having age, let me say 5, and let me just make one last, and let me say Oppo is of age 9. So this is our dictionary, which is dog dictionary. So in order to pickle this dictionary, you have to first specify the name of a file you want to write to it, which is in this case the dog dictionary. So let's go over here, that is in the down. So in order to pickle this dictionary, you first need to specify the name of a file you will write it to on, and in this case we'll just make a file name that will be obviously the dogs file name. So let me just create the file name over here, and let me just specify this as dogs. So our file name will be the dogs, and after that we have to open the file. So in order to open the file, let me just create the file name here, which would be out file, and it should be open with this open command, and give the file name here, which is the file to be opened, and the purpose in which the file should be opened, which is basically this WB. So if you wonder what this WB is, so here, so I'll just start with this first argument and we'll talk about this WB. So first argument should be the name of your file obviously, and the second argument is writing to this file, which is basically the W specify writing, and B refers to the binary mode. This means the data will be written in the form of byte object. If you forget this B, and it should show you something that is a type error, and you just have to be returned with an exception. You may sometime come across with a slightly different notation that can be W plus B, and it should not be worried because WB and W plus B is of same functionality. So we'll just create the new file with this binary mode in the same directory where we have stored this myfile.py. So if you go in this desktop, we have stored in this new folder. That means you have here, that is your new file, that is your serialized object. So once the file is opened for the writing using this statement over here, which is basically creating this file name here, and basically you make use of this open inbuilt method in order to create the file name in the directory. It is time to use the pickle.dump, which takes two arguments, and first is the object you want to pickle, and second is your file name, and we have to also make use of close method. So first of all, I'll just say it should be the pickle module should be called here, and I'll just say pickle, and that should be pickle dot, and just provide here dump. So this dump basically uses two arguments, and it basically write a pickle representation of object to the open file object file. That means you just have to specify your object that needs to be pickled. In this case, we want this dog dictionary to be pickled. That means you pass over here, which need to be pickled, and give the file name. In this case, it should be out file, and this dump will basically provides the way to serialize this dog dictionary, which is object in this out file. So we have now dumped using this pickle module. So now it's time to just close this file, which should be out file dot close. So we have now closed this file. So after this, what you need to do is we'll just run this program and see if we can just serialize this dog dictionary in this out file. Let me save this first, and let me run with this F5, and if you see we don't have any error, that means our file should be created in this new. Let's go to this new, and you could see we have dog file created over here. So if you open this dog file, let me just open it once, and let me just open it with, let me say, Sublime Text. Then you could see this is our serialized object. So next thing what you can do is unpickle the file. So unpickle is the same process, that is loading the pickled file, which is our dog file in this case, into the Python program with the same code but with the different argument that should be passed in open. So it should be RB instead of this WB. Let me go over here. So instead of WB, which is to write the file or to create the file if it doesn't exist, in this case we have to just pass a RB. So RB is basically the write mode, and B stand for your binary mode. That means you will be reading a binary file, and you will be assigning this, let me say, in this in file, And now next thing what you can do over here is, after this RV creating, we have to make use of load instead of this dump. So here, instead of this doc dictionary, what you need to do is we'll just say in file, which is the file which is opened with this open method, and now we'll just close this file. So what you need to do here is we'll just remove this one, that is dictionary, and now it's time to save this code. So you could see here we have given this file name to the open function, which is to read the binary file that was created a minute before, and we'll just load that file using this load module. In order to create the serialization of the object, we use this dump method, but in order to deserialize, we make use of this load, and we make use of this in file that was opened here in order to load. So one more thing what you need to do is just change this out file to in file, and let me save this because we have to close this in file which was opened in the binary mode. So let me save this and see if this deserialization works. So let me just press F5, and we haven't had anything over here because we are not printing anything. So let me just get the dictionary, that would be new dict over here, and let me say that should be in file, and let me just print this new dictionary. Let me just say new dict, and when I just save this down, and you could see now we should now get the Aussie, Flu, Timon and the Oppo, which was the serialized in a couple of minutes before. Now we have deserialized using this pickle module over here, which basically loads our in file, which was the serialized object which was done in a couple of minutes before, and we make use of that serialized object to be deserialized in this program, and we successfully deserialize that object. And if I save this down and print it again, then you could see the same object over here that was created before, which was our file name is dog. So this is our pickle module in order to just save the file into the binary mode, and you can just reference that file whenever you required using this deserialization technique. Now it's time to see about the multiprocessing. So let's see about the multiprocessing. So what is multiprocessing? So basically, when we have very complex computation to be executed, it is common to distribute the tasks over the several processes. So distribution is basically a multiprocessing way of doing things. So you just distribute the tasks to the multiple thread. That means you create the thread, in which case we have a single thread here. So let me just give here. So we have tasks here. So the tasks will be executed only on the single thread. That means it will just execute one task, and it should just wait until the first task is executed. So it will just wait for the execution of the first task, and if it executes the first task, only the next task can be executed, and every task requires the waiting time. That means every task should wait for the progress or for the execution of its previous task. So it is of single thread. Now let's talk about the multiprocessing. When a very complex computation have to be executed, it is common to distribute these tasks over the several processes. So if you see in this single thread, the tasks, that is task number 2, depend upon the execution, that is complete execution of this task number 1. So there might be the waiting time for this task, so that you can't properly use all the resources of the CPU, so that your time of execution for the complete tasks is more. But in the case of the multiprocessing, you make use of a multiple thread to make use or to compute the tasks. That means you can execute the same tasks in the less time using the multiprocessing, where we make use of a multiple thread in order to execute the different tasks. So this thread is working with this task, and this is working with this task, and 3 and 4. So in this same time frame, you are just executing this bunch of a code or this bunch of tasks. But in the case of a single thread, you could see we have less tasks executed here, but in the case of multiprocessing, within the same time frame, you could see we have executed the much more tasks. So this is the importance of multiprocessing. So multiprocessing usually take over to several processing cycle or a CPU core, thus it will save your time. And example of of training the machine learning would be very extensive on this centralized system, and it would be a very intensive and time consuming if you just don't make utilization of a distributed system. And in the Hadoop system, you make utilization of a distributed computing, because computing in a single thread and computing in a centralized system would be very tedious, would be very intensive and time consuming. So we make use of a distributed system in order to perform this type of operation that can be like handling the big data and training the machine learning algorithm that can be handled in the distributed system. So let's see how this multiprocessing module can be used with the Python with a simple program. Now let's implement this multiprocessing module using this shell, in where we'll just make simple program. So first of all, I'll just import the multiprocessing, and it should be multiprocessing, and I'll just alias it as MP. So this is the giving alternative name to the multiprocessing, so that from now on we can reference this multiprocessing as MP. So now we have to import the math module, and from math I want to import the cosine function. So I'll just say cos. Now I'll just make use of pool method. So first of all, let me make a p here. And after that we'll just make use of this multiprocessing pool method, where we'll pass these two value. So when I just hit press enter, then you could see this pool will handle the multiprocessing in the background. And if you see here, we have to make use of the cosine function now, and let me just map it down here. So in this map, you have to first give the function, and the function would be the cos, and iterable would be, let me make the range of this 10 value. So what we have done here is we'll handle the multiprocessing in the background to find the cos of this value, which is of the range 0 to 9, and you can just map this cosine function on the range of 10 to this pool, so that it can be executed quickly with the help of this multiprocessing. So when I just press enter, then you could see all of this value that is printed over here, which is the value of the cosine function. So we made use of this multiprocessing to quickly render this value, which would be difficult in the case of the single processor, but we have made use of this pool to support the multiprocessing in the background. And this 2 is basically your number of processor or number of processing, or you can also say number of threads that can be used to compute this function. So we made use of this pool method to specify we have to handle the multiprocessing of this method that should be always in the background. So we have specified the 2 thread here to compute this function, which is to find the cosine of the range given as 10. That means we'll also map this function, that is using this map function with this cosine to the range of 10 on this pool, so that it can be rendered or executed quickly with the help of this multiprocessing. So this will be the wrap for this lecture. See you in the next one.